to facilitate the village chairpersons to go and do mobilization. Allow me explain to those who are listening, Your Excellency, with your permission, to explain what is mobilization in my own view. When we were at university, I didn't do political science, but we had the late Right Honorable Apollon Sibambi, who was the lecturer for political science. We used to go to listen to his lectures, even those of us who are not doing his subject, to get those big English words, but later go to look for the meaning. But one time he defined what mobilization is. He said mobilization in political science is identifying the need of an individual or a community and try to provide a solution. If you don't provide the solution, look out for whoever has the means to provide the solution. We thank you. You gave us the responsibility to mobilize for the party to make sure we win. So as we take on 2021, Your Excellency, after defining mobilization, and you are the presidential candidate for the NRM party, I want to congratulate you. Congratulations. I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the members of SEC who made it. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Alhaj Moses Chigongo. Congratulations. I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Mike Mukula, who is here with us, but also in a special way congratulate those who made it and all of those who participated. We had a successful national conference. I want to say that as a Secretary General of NRM, I'm so proud because we have organized those before, and you would really see that our shortcomings, the shortfalls would be sometimes too big, but this time they were minor and ignorable. Congratulations, NRM family. Your Excellency, we have given out bicycles. We have now covered Buganda. We started last evening with the Greater Massacre. So in Massacre we are through with Kalungu. Right now we are in Massacre. The moment we finish the Greater Massacre, we'll have covered the whole of Buganda, and we move to other zones, other regions in this country. After giving that report, Your Excellency, when we were giving out bicycles, when you came here to launch, Your Excellency, you gave us bicycles to give to the village NRM chairpersons. But we realized you gave us more, because you gave us 80,000, and the villages are 68,742, and the parishes are 10,092. So the balance is also enough to cover the parish chairpersons. I want to report that to Your Excellency, and in a special way to thank you. So the message to the parish chairpersons, where we are continuing to give, we are also giving the chairpersons of the parishes. So those who are listening, when we invite you, parish chairpersons, please come and receive. In the areas where we have already given, Kampala and Central, please, we shall also come back and give the parish chairpersons. But I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, motorcycles are here. In Lusoga they say, Chenvu dedeme. Dedeme means konko. That's the Lusoga word I want to leave with you today. As they go out to do their work, Your Excellency, you are going to cause excitement in the country. But it is under your guidance that we have to manage that excitement. And it's coming at a time, Your Excellency, when we have had primaries. The primaries in their own way, to a bigger percentage, with the exception of about 2-3 districts, the villagers were free to express to choose the person they wanted. As members of NRM, who were having to practice, were implementing the fourth principle of NRM, which is democracy, choosing leaders. But Your Excellency, after the people had decided who they want to be their leader at the parliamentary level, some of our staff were lured into changing declaration forms on the way, forgetting that the people who had participated at the village don't need to write. They registered the records in their faces. So what is coming in some areas is not good. And also, Your Excellency, some have done things with impunity. And I want to sing out two of them. One of them, in Butemba County, in Chankwanzi district, one of the candidates who got 3,000 votes brought in soldiers. They cordoned off the place and declared that person a winner, and off they walked away, leaving behind police to struggle with the villagers who were expressing their anger. Of course, they don't have that right, in their own style. Your Excellency, you led a team of people who we know and who we don't know, and they went out to sacrifice their lives. And you did that with your team to make sure part of what Ugandans should enjoy, it is to choose their own leaders. But when that happens and nothing is done, Your Excellency, the impunity hurts and it scares people. But we are so blessed that we still have you as a leader. And I want to thank God for having given you to us up to today, that you can even live for now when you are still sober, with your eyes okay, with your teeth, and you are able to talk and give direction and give guidance. I call on Your Excellency, for whoever has misbehaved during the election of NRM should be brought to book. We are not above the law, even if it is Lumumba, should be brought to book. Your Excellency, yesterday I attended a burial in Itoroma County. Burial of a lady called Teresa Akirol from Apule village in Kapunjan sub-county in Itoroma County in Katakwi district. This is one district that has supported the NRM from the word go, even at a time when we didn't have much support in Iteso. Katakwi has consistently supported NRM. So when they went to line up to choose their leader, people started pulling them from this line to the other, this line to the other. Then when there was a fight, a policeman decided to shoot people who were just fighting using hands, and for him he brought out a bullet. So the lady Akirol was shot in the stomach. So she died on the way when they were rushing her to Katakwi Hospital. And then we had Luce, who was shot in the hand, who I want to thank you, and a young boy of 21 years called Charles Atingo, who is also now in hospital. I want to thank you that when we called on you to facilitate us to save their lives, the response was so fast. On behalf of the NRM party, I want to say thank you. And they are recovering. But when we were attending the burial of Mama Teresa Akirol, I was touched as the Secretary General of NRM. This is an ordinary woman who has believed in NRM and has come to do her own right, in her own right to choose a leader. But then the party called on the state to come and protect the members as they do their activity. Instead of protecting the Ugandan, protecting her life and property, it is instead the state that took the life. Impunity, Your Excellency, is something that I want to see under your leadership that should be dealt with within the NRM before we even talk of going without going out of the party. I sound tough because it has touched me. People have options to belong to different political parties, but they've decided to stick with NRM because of the leadership you've offered, service delivery, we have assured and you have provided security, but the few exceptions are really reducing and removing your legacy and the legacy of the party. So I call on you, Your Excellency, the impunity should be dealt with, and people are yearning to hear your voice, and I request Your Excellency, let that sound heard today. Your Excellency, on the whole, it was successful. People were able to choose the people they want in daylight. And I want to congratulate those who genuinely won. I want to congratulate those who participated. but the intimidation, abuse of human rights must be dealt with in the party before we go out. Your Excellency, I want to apologize for those who lost and have gone out to say so many things. That shows that we as a party have to do more work to talk to people, to entrench the issues of ideology, especially patriotism, in their minds. Instead of thinking it must be me. If it is not me, then one has to come out to make noise and forgetting the status he's holding in the society. Yet that person could have been even part of the team that took a decision to choose which method to use. Your Excellency and members who are gathered here, I want us in a special way to clap for His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for again looking for friends who have offered to facilitate the chairpersons of the sub-counties. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for leading us under this COVID. Some of our leaders were not able to observe the SOPs, and some of the leaders have tested positive. But because we know we have you, we know their lives will be saved because you have been able to save so many lives. If you are able to save lives under gun, even under this virus, you have saved lives. So we are moving on as a country, but what I want to request you, Your Excellency, we need also a strong arm on the issue of the implementation of the SOPs, because that's the only way we will avoid to have the big numbers. Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the NRM party to thank you for facilitating the activities of the party, giving us guidance, but also to assure you that as a secretariat, we are going to work so hard with everybody to make sure that NRM wins, but also to make sure we give credibility to the process, because also it's an important component of it. Your Excellency, we are yet to receive details of the activities, especially the electoral activities that are going on in the party. We shall give it to you. But Your Excellency, we also want to have event. Those who are complaining should have event. We are talking of the dispute resolution. We want also to work that to come out so clearly, so that people have where to run within the party. Instead of all of them either running to you or the Secretary General, we should have a team that comes out to be able to offer time and listen to people. When people are listened to, they feel valued. I want to invite you, Your Excellency, to come and address us and launch the bicycles that are going to the chairpersons of the sub-counties to mobilize for NRM to win. Can we welcome His Excellency? NRM oye! NRM oye! Museveni oye! Museveni oye! Chigongo oye! NRM juu! Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. The Vice Chairman, H.E Gongo, the Secretary General, the Vice Chairman Eastern, all the members of SEC, and the members of the Secretariat. First of all, I want to congratulate the NRM fraternity for going through all these phases we have gone through. First of all, we had the big registration exercise of registering members, which was the first one. And I'm told we registered 12 million. We registered 11.9 million members. Then from there, we had the SECs, a number of SEC meetings, and we also had NEC and the National Conference. They were held in decentralized way. NEC was held at the zones, and national conference was held at the districts. Much better organized than previously, which brings some new ideas of how to do it. Because when they come to Kololo, Nambole, we really get a lot of blockage. But this time, people were able to meet peacefully in the districts. Now we have just gone through, and during the national conference at NEC, the presidential flag bearer was elected. The chairperson of the party was elected. The vice chairperson for the general, H.E was elected. The second one, the female, Right Honorable Kadaga, was elected. The vice chairpersons were elected for the zones. So we were able to constitute some of the members of SEC, the new ones, and I congratulate the party on all those steps. Now, the other day, we had this big exercise of the woman MP, flag bearer, and constituency MPs, flag bearer. And you saw the huge turnout, massive. Now, this one has solved one problem Uganda has been trying to deal with since 1961. The problem of rigged elections. I have sent out a message on the social media which gives the history of rigging. Started in 1961, where you would have multiple. First of all, the voting was hidden. They would construct a kasakate, a temporary enclosure where the boxes would be hidden. So the voter just goes there alone. So some go with a lot of ballot boxes, papers in their pocket. So there are so many. I remember my friend, the late Kategaya, who was in a party which didn't mind about rigging. When we voted in 1962, me, I didn't vote because I was 17. Kategaya was 1 year old, I was like 18. But the voting age at that time was 21 years. So both of us were not qualified to vote. But Kategaya voted 8 times. He confessed afterwards. He said, oh. So when we came into government, we had elections in 1962. We never had any other elections until 1980, after 18 years. Now, when we were preparing for the new elections, we tried to have electoral reforms, but our partners at that time didn't listen. So we went on with all those mistakes, the gerrymandering of constituencies, voting in a hidden way, the multiple ballot papers, and so on. And the results were the 1980 elections, which were just a sham. Now, when we came, 1989, when we were expanding the NRC, immediately we said the elections must be protected. People should choose the party they want and the individuals they want without any pressure, without any manipulation, without any coercion. So that people, the elected leaders, concentrate on doing what the people want, and then they elect people with affection rather than being coerced or being marginalized. That's what one of the parties used to say. One of the parties in 1980 used to say, we shall be in power whether you vote for us or not. How will you be in power if we don't vote for you? What they meant was that they would cheat. Now, they didn't know the consequence of that. And indeed they cheated, but the consequences were not good. We had to sort it out using the hard way. So when we came, number one, all constituencies had to coincide with administrative boundaries. There was no question of getting one sub-county here, putting it with another sub-county in another county so that you create a temporary constituency. We said no. In fact, H.E is here. 1989, there were 149 constituencies. That NRC. And those constituencies coincided with 149 counties of that time. The constituency must coincide with the existing administrative units. Now, when we went for the CA, the 149 constituencies, which were then the counties that time, the Honorable Sam Njuba, who was the Minister of Constitutional Affairs, pointed out that these 149, some have got smaller population, like Clark County in Gulu had 16,000 people. But Bukoto in Masaka had 360,000 people. But they all had one MP. So the Honorable Sam Njuba pointed out that there was under-representation and over-representation. We said, okay, that's no problem. That's how we broke Bukoto into 4 now. Bukoto this, Bukoto that, Bukoto that. So that, but when breaking up Bukoto, we made sure that the sub-counties which are near become Bukoto East. Then the other one Bukoto something else, like that. The sub-counties. So that was number one. Then we stopped this hiding the ballot paper. The ballot paper, the ballot box. The ballot box had to be where everybody can see. And these days, we are even making sure that the ballot box itself is transparent. It is plastic, but you can see through. And then the ballot ballot box is one for the presidential, for the member of parliament, or for chairman. And then the ballot paper is also one. Because in the past when they were separate, they could come with acid and put in the box which they didn't like, so that all the papers are destroyed. Those were the elections we were having that time. And then we said, you must announce the results immediately after voting. You count there, you announce, everybody here. And then you must display. I have said all this in the social media message which I sent out. But one problem, all these measures we introduced, especially in the CA, 1994, depended on vigilance of the people to be vigilant. Also depended on the integrity of the electoral officials. This is where the problem is. And these two have been missing. Some of the electoral officials have become corrupt. They want money. And especially the NRM members are not vigilant most of the time. They don't go to check the register, they don't. So that's why now, as somebody who has been in this battle for all these years, I said no. And that's why I'm very happy to be here today. Number one, for the general election, we must get a method which does not allow cheating, whether people are vigilant or not. And that is the digital. We must have digital recognition of voters using the biometric. This was supposed to be done in the previous elections, but the corrupt fellows who were in the Electoral Commission, who were sacked recently, they bought machines which did not do this. They are now looking for the machines where you will put your fingerprint, because unfortunately God helped us, but we don't want to be helped. Apparently my fingerprint is not the same is not the same as Kaguta's, nor the same as Esther's. Mine is unique, theirs are unique. So God has really helped us. The fingerprints are never the same. Even twins, apparently their fingerprints are different. So this machine, which will recognize the different fingerprints, and if you try to vote to register in two places, the system will discover you automatically. That means you will eliminate so many problems. First of all, we eliminate multiple registration. We eliminate multiple voting. We eliminate voter staffing, ballot staffing, because if we voted each one with his fingerprint, they are all in the computer. 1,000 people voted at a polling station. These are the fingerprints which are there. Where did the extra 500 votes come from? If we find that in the box there are 1,500, and yet the people who digitally voted were only 1,000. So we are really going to get rid of this cheating technologically for the national elections. For the party, however, we cannot have the money to invest in these very expensive gadgets, the computers. That's why at Chobe we wait for their computers. We don't have the money to buy all those computers. But for us, let's use the human computer, the eyes and the brain. Line up behind your candidate, because we see you. We are all there, we see you. That's what we did the other day. And it has really worked. It has put the cheaters into problem. They are now behaving like idiots. They are not serious. Because people lined up, everybody was there. It was during daylight. We don't allow voting at night. So everybody, and it is in the village. It's not at the parish, because the parish is far. 4 hours are village based, which is near where people live. So if we vote at a place, Mukura gets 200 votes, people lining behind him in the village. Museveni gets 100. The total 300. This is what has happened in the village. If somebody who is not clever goes and says he can change this on paper, what they call DR, so-called, instead of worshiping God, you are now worshiping DR. That DR is useless. It must reflect what happened here. If we try to change it, the villages are there. The villages where people voted, the people are there. Unless you kill all the villagers, the people saw. So, once there is any suspicion, we shall check. We shall go to the village, and we shall get the facts, and we shall go for you. Instead of going to parliament, you will go to jail. Jail, why? Because you have committed forgery. It's called forgery. And I checked the sentence for forgery, I think it's 7 years. By the time we finish 7 years, this parliament will be over. The coming one. But there's also the subversion, because you are subverting the constitution. I don't know why they are not including that, because you are trying to undermine the sovereignty of the people. Because you see, the constitution says the people are sovereign. You are now trying to replace sovereignty of the people with your own plans. You have no right. So, NRM members don't have to riot, don't have to quarrel. You just write a petition, send it to the Secretary General is talking of the panels we are going to set up. My advice is that we set up a panel of elders per zone. That's my idea. Because the districts are too many. But the zone like Ankole, the zone like Teso, like Busoga. If I've got 3 respected people who are not part of the struggles, and if there is a complaint, they are the ones who are nearest. Yes, Tangodo is there, but there are also these neutral opinion leaders. Then we shall go and audit. We shall go and audit village by village, check. I have already actually audited some districts directly using some channels. Now, we shall discover that you committed forgery. The registrar who did it will go to jail. You, the political leader who hired him to do it, you will go to jail. Anybody else who helped you will go to jail. So that's number one. So it's finished. The game is finished. The voting is by lining. The rest is just adding up. If you misadd, you are just misadding yourself, not the process. Because there is no way you can change the village. The villagers are there. The 200 people who voted for Mukura, lined behind him, the 100 who were lying behind Museveni, these are all witnesses. They were there, they saw what happened. So what are you trying to do now? So that's number one. Number two, in some areas, after voting for the woman MP, they would create chaos if somebody knows that he doesn't have support here. After one vote, then they create chaos so that the voting doesn't take place. That one we shall also, because we know the villages which didn't vote, which were disturbed, we shall go and maybe properly now with everybody present. Now, violence. There was violence in a constituency called Bukono. the one of Namuganza. People were beaten. I think 12 people were beaten, cut, even cut with the panga, 12 people on the first day. I got information, and they had, the police had not done much work. So I told the Inspector General of Police that if the police did not do their work, I will do it for them because I'm here. By arresting them first, the police officers themselves, and then doing the rest myself because I have the capacity to do it. If you don't do it, we shall do it for you. So, some of the people had been arrested and given the police bond. Somebody who has cut people, you give him police bond. Police bond. We made it clear that there will be no police bond for anybody who has attacked Ugandans. In fact, one of the people who was attacked, I think, was in a critical condition up to now. I don't think. Huh? Oh, okay. Yes. Now, then you go to the areas like this Katakwi, which she was talking about. Now, that is the idiocy of a police person. If people were not armed, they were fighting among themselves. Why do you fire at them direct? Why? We shall arrest you. That policeman must be arrested already, I'm sure. Yes. So, in this process, you see, the process is like the Banyankwere do with the millet. You first thresh the millet, or kura, then the millet separates from the sheath by heating it, but it is still mixed with it's called husks, with husks. Still mixed with umwezuga. Umwezuga is the husks, the other, it has gone from the shisha. The shisha is the sheath. By threshing, you separate, but still the husks are mixed with the millet. So you do now what they call okwera, winnowing. When you do like this, the wind takes the husks. You do it, takes the husks, and you remain with less husks, less husks. But then you are not finished. You put it in the Banyakwera call it a shekuru. The mortar, the English call it mortar, I don't know why they call it mortar. Where again you pound, you pound with okshekura. Again you separate now the remaining husks. And then you winnow again, and the wind helps you take the rest. So we are now winnowing. After a long struggle, the NRM created a good formula for the country, digitally operated. Because the country has the money. For us, for the party, we don't have money to do digital, but we can use our simple method of lining up. Now, the lining up has exposed. It's transparent. Now, some people think they can even interfere with that. So, you alter results, we arrest you on forgery. We only need to audit and confirm. The stupid policeman who does not know how to use the gun, that one goes to jail for manslaughter and reckless conduct. The ones who are threatening people, if we get the evidence, you will go to jail for that. The ones who beat people, the same. You go to jail for attempted murder, for what? So the process is going to clean up, because we have already brought a good formula. This formula of lining up on the one hand and digital on the other hand is going to clean up this problem of voting, truthful voting, which we have been struggling for since 1961. Threats, like 1961 here in Uganda, they go and, because Mengo had said people should not take part in the elections of 1961. Now, the ones who did not listen to that boycott, their coffee was cut. They cut the coffee. Violence, intimidation. I am engaging with young people on the social media. Some of them abuse me, say, you are very stupid. I said, okay, I'm stupid, but I am able to walk on my 2 feet. I answer them also, because they answer, I answer them. I don't have to fight with these children to win them over. And when I send messages to answer them, when there were 10 who were attacking me, you find only 6 remain. 4 answer back, say, the old man has made a good point. Then I remain with 6 who are still, yes, but when are you going home? Yes, going home is not a problem. My home is very well known. I can go home, but first, solve your problems of Uganda. First of all, solve tribalism. Work for East African Federation, because you need it. You need it for your coffee. You need it for your sugar. For your sugar. You need it for your milk. You first work on your own things. Me, I have no problem. I have got my home to go to. Then when they answer back, you find that only 4 have remained. You don't have to be violent with these people. You use your language, your tongue, to persuade them, to win them over. So therefore, all those who have made a fool of themselves, like the one who Secretary General was talking about, the one of Butemba, the one who surrounded the press and announced himself, we shall go for him. That one is a candidate for jail. That's forgery, because what happened, we have no right to change it. We had a minister who beat people and was seen with guns. That one is in jail now. Is in jail, the minister. So therefore, this game is finished. I would appeal to Ugandans to be calm, just get the facts. I have seen some of them demonstrating. The demonstration, you may cause some confusion, because you may damage some property in the process. Simply write your points. We shall act. We are here. When I get these committees, the panels we are going to put at the zones will be, apart from Otango Doi, will receive the complaints, but I'm also monitoring with the police, with what, because like all these areas where I have intervened, I was told, because we have got systems all over the place. Secretary General told me about Katakwi, some people told me about Bukono, some people told me about Zimbabwe, some people told me about, and I'm really going to hold, because there is the structure of the government everywhere. There is a DPC in a district. Why should people be beaten and you are there and you don't act? And you wait for the president to come and put pressure on you. If you don't do that, I go for you. There's a GISO in every sub-county. Why should bad things happen there and you don't know? And you don't care? RDCs, all those people are there and they are accountable. Today we came for, so I want to assure everybody that what happened the other day was revolutionary. It was the medicine for the cheating which has been going on, and we have been struggling with it. We had used it before. In 1989, when we expanded NRC, we used the lining. But we changed in the 1995 constitution, trying to be modern, secret ballot, what. But when people don't have a modern mentality, to be modern in actions, when people don't have a modern mentality, they have a backward mentality of cheating. So that's why we have now gone back to lining. And this lining, you have seen how popular it is and how useful it is. Anybody who thinks he can somehow manipulate it is wasting his time. He will end up in prison instead of parliament. Meanwhile, we are continuing to see how to strengthen the party. The other time, from our supporters, we mobilized 80,000 bicycles. Now some of the people told me, oh, the old men, the LC chairperson are too old to ride bicycles. No, I ride a bicycle. I don't think there are many chairmen who are older than me. Riding a bicycle is healthier than these motorcycles because you are exercising. Or if you don't want to ride the bicycle, you give it to the young people to use it for the mobilization in the village. And I'm glad the balance went to the parishes. So that means the villages are now covered and now the parishes are covered. So these motorcycles here are for the sub-counties. So now the sub-county chairpersons will get. That gap is also finished. We are now going to remain with vehicles for the district because we want to have four-wheel drive pickups or some type of four-wheel drive vehicles for the districts, the 146 districts. That also we shall handle. So it is my pleasure to be here today. But I want to thank the NRM people. We are really moving on the right side. This disease will go. I want you to be careful so that we get out of it. Otherwise, everything is moving very well. Security is very strong in the country. Please, don't make mistakes and we lose you when things are beginning to improve. So it is my honor now to flag off these pikipikis for the sub-county NRM chairpersons. Thank you very much.
Shall we have Alumai John Bosco from Pakele sub-county in Ajumani district, and Mr. Ambayo Anyasio from Tiforo sub-county, also from Ajumani district. These ones are representing the chairpersons from, they are representing the chairpersons. The chairman move this side. Stand behind the motorcycles.